We were discussing LTI system last class. Can you tell anything about it? Causal LTI system. What do we mean by causal LTI system?
Sir, the
As
output does not depend on the future. It depends only on the past and the present inputs.
yes, that is the causal system. But how you uh, mathematically describe in terms of its impulse response? What should be the behavior of impulse response of causal LTI system? Impulse response is Hn. Hn should be what for causal LTI system? To implement that causal system, okay, so what should be the impulse response? Input may be of anything. It may depends on present, past, future. Okay. So how the system will depend only on the present and past inputs. That can be described by one mathematical equation or the characteristics of the impulse function, impulse response of the system. Can anybody tell? It's very easy. You can look into the screen and can tell easily. And the last equation, last line, what is? Huh?
Sir, it is sigma k equal to 0 to infinity h of k into x of n naught minus k. We ignore the second term.
Ignore the second term. Yes. So ignore the in the second term. Yes, but don't tell with respect to the output equation. Tell with respect to the impulse response Hn. What should be the behavior of impulse response? Since you have to implement, you have to design the system so that it would only depend on in past and present value of input. How the system would be designed? Any system is dependent on its impulse response, that is transfer function, Hn or Hz in terms of Z domain. What should be the Hn? And if you know Hn, you can derive Hz by calculating the Z transform. Okay, that will be discussed later. Hn should be what? It is easily written in the last line of the slide. Equation number 2.3.38 of the Prokes book, and it is given in the slide. What does this last line mean? Can anybody tell? What does the last line signify?
Sir, if the n value is less than 0, then h of n should be 0. Otherwise, we will get future values.
Yes, that means impulse response is 0 for negative values of n. It is not this negative values of n. It is 0 for negative values of n. Impulse response is 0. Okay? That means h of -1, h of -2, the values at n is equal to -1, n is equal to -2, n is equal to -3, n is equal to -4, all will be 0, the impulse response. That means it is a causal sequence. Hn it should be the causal sequence as only past and present values of input. Okay, so there will be positive values of n. For positive values of n, it should exist. So that is written there. Hn is equal to 0 for n less than 0. Okay, so now we can write we can write an LTI system is causal if and only if its impulse response of the system is 0 for negative values of n. Okay, and what should be the output equation in terms of convolution? In terms of convolution, you can see it is k is equal to 0 to n hk x of n minus k. So it is the output of a causal LTI system. Causal and LTI. LTI because we use the convolution property. In LTI system, convolution is valid. Convolution is only valid in case of causal, in case of LTI system, because it uses the property of time invariance and linearity or superposition. And why in this one? So you see, if you dissolve this series formula, it will becomes h of 0 into x of n plus h of 1 into x of n minus 1. So you see the input values x of n, x of n minus 1, x of n minus 2. That means present value is x of xn and past value is x of n minus 1, x of n minus 2, like that. Okay. Similarly, the impulse response is h0, h1, h2, that is positive values of n. And in the other way, using the commutative property of convolution, that this can also be written as k is equal to 0 to n x of k. So here now x of k is the x, if k is equal to 0, then it is x of 0, then x of 1, x of 2. Okay, so here it is impulse response. You see that h of n, then h of n minus 1, h of n minus 2. Okay, that is only positive values of n is considered of hn. Okay, so this way it is defined the output of a causal LTI system. Okay. Now another important property of causal LTI system is stability. Okay. The stability means what? Vivo stability. That if input magnitude is small, then output magnitude should also be small. Okay. This is the Vivo stability. Bounded input produces bounded output. So if you look into the equation for convolutions and of output yn, and if you calculate the magnitude, okay, the second equation, you see that this one k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of k h of n minus k. So you take the magnitude, this magnitude so this magnitude you take only the magnitude of x into the magnitude of the impulse response. Okay, so for smallest maximum value of input xk is say x max. Okay, it is although it is finite. So now this part, okay, summation of hn minus k, okay, this is multiplied with this x max. So this, if this part becomes infinite, okay, summation of h of n minus k, then overall output yn would be infinite. So the condition is that a summation of hn minus k should also be finite. Then it will be stable system. So first condition is causal LTI, that is hn, it is this equation, hn is equal to 0 for n less than 0. And second condition of stability is that summation of this impulse response, okay, should be less than infinity, or it is finite. So that means it is absolutely summable. Impulse response, an LTI system is stable if its impulse response is absolutely summable. Okay, this is the condition for impulse the stability. And there are two conditions. One is sufficient, another is necessary. But necessary condition is one specific case that we are not discussing. You can remember only this part. Okay, that is summation of this is a sufficient condition that the LTI system is stable if its impulse response is absolutely summable. That is this dashed region. This dashed region means this expression. It is finite. Summation of impulse response is finite. Okay. Okay. So now coming back to the some problem. Okay. It is very much important to do some exercise to perform some numerical. Okay. So now let us do one numerical. It is given here. Determine the unit step response of the linear time invariant system with its impulse response hn is equal to a to the power n u of n. Okay, u of a to the power n is your signal. A to the power n is your signal hn. Now it is multiplied with un. Can you tell what does it mean? Why this un is multiplied with your signal un? With your signal a to the power n. Un is simple, having magnitude 1, so there will be no effect. Okay, there will be no change in the a to the power n. But why does it? Why it is done so? Can you tell anybody?
Sir, if n is negative, then it will be 0.
Yes. Yes. So that means it what? That means it is causal system, isn't it? That means it is causal system where impulse response is 0 for negative values of n. Okay. So all of you are listening what the discussion is going on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It is not that only one person will respond. It is also okay, 1% is responding, that is visible, but also other are doing. It is also being hard to. It is also being hard to others. Okay. But it is better if all we interact. Then it will be easy for me to understand at what level are you in. Okay, and what does we need? What do I need to teach you more, or to give you knowledge, to make you understand better? So, so now let us solve this equation, simple equation. Okay. So how do you solve that? What is the question? That LTI system determine the step response, unit step response of the linear time invariant system with impulse response hn is equal to this. hn दिया हुआ है और यूनिट स्टेप रेस्पॉन्स कैलकुलेट करना है, मतलब xn बताया गया, xn है यूनिट स्टेप सिग्नल xn और hn भी बताया गया है, ठीक है। given what are given, xn is given and hn is given. xn is un and hn is a to the power n un. So we use the formula for convolution. Convolution formula is what? Summation of xk into hn minus k or k into xn minus k. This is the formula. Okay. So so here you see that hk, if it is hk, then from the equation of hn we can calculate in place of n you write you write a to the k, so it becomes a to the power k, and hk is valid. Okay, h of k is valid from 0 to n because it is multiplied with unit step. So unit step is valid from 0 to some finite value of n. So it is 0 to n or some present value of n or some present value. So it is a to the power k into x of n minus k. So x of n minus k is your x of n minus k. So your x of n is un. So x of n minus k is un minus k, u of n minus k. Okay. So that means the unit step function is delayed to n is equal to k value. Okay. N is equal to k value. So it is your unit step function. So we get unit step function is equal to 1. So it will give you only a to the power k. Okay. So it is mathematically for according to the series formula, it is 1 by 1 minus a to the power n plus 1 divided by 1 minus a. Okay. This is your output. Okay. This is your expression. Now another problem, we just go through this, that determine the range of values of the parameter a for which the linear time invariant system with impulse response is stable. Okay. So here we use that what is the formula for stability, that the impulse response is summable. Okay. So take the summation of impulse response, that summation of hn or summation of a to the power k. Okay, if it is a k, okay, so it is a to the power k summation, and k goes to zeros to infinity. So summation of a to the power k is So if, what is the expression that 2.3.43? Okay, what is there? That 2.3.43. Okay, it is not there, but anyhow, this equation is to be implemented. That summation k is equal to minus infinity infinity h of n minus k. Okay, or here it is simply since it is the infinite series, so we consider 0 to infinity. Same thing. So either n minus k or k, it is a same thing in this case. So it is k is equal to 0 to infinity, and according to the series of infinite series, it is 1 plus a square, and we get it is 1 by 1 minus a. So what does it mean? That this signal will converge or will be finite? Okay, summation, since it should be impulse response is summable. So to have that, what should be the value of A? A should be less than 1. Okay, is the A should be less than 1. Then only it should be stable. Okay. Otherwise, it will be growing. Now it is, if a is less than 1, that means 0.8 or 0.9, then each time if you add, each time impulse response is summable, means each time it is getting added with the previous value. So if it is more than 1, then if you go up to the extent of infinity, then it will very high, it will be infinite. So that time the system will not be stable. But if it is less than 1, then it will go on increasing, even if till it is infinite, up to the extent of infinity, then it will remain finite. Okay, so that's why a should be less than 1, and this is very much important relation for stability. Okay, so now another problem, that one hn is what? It has two, it is the impulse response, okay, a to the power n and b to the power n, for n greater than equal to 0 and for n less than equal to 0. So it is two separate condition. Okay, it is both sided signal or impulse response. So the question is, it is not causal. Okay, because it is not 0 for n less than 0. So that's why it is written only LTI system with impulse response this, and you have to find out the values of A and B for which the system will be stable. So how we will proceed? But you know the condition for stability, that impulse response should be summable. So there are two regions of n, one is positive side and other is negative side. So these conditions, that for both positive time axis and negative time axis, whether we have to see whether these are summable or not, whether they have finite value or not. So Hn is your equation, Hn n minus k or Hn whatever it is, this is the, so this is your stability condition. Okay, that we divide the region from minus infinity to infinity to 0 to infinity and minus infinity to minus 1, just before the starting of 0. Minus infinity to minus 1 and 0 to infinity. This is a whole time region is covered. And in that time region, okay, one expression is a to the power n, another for time region it is b to the power n. Okay. Now you have to check whether at what conditions both of these two will have simultaneously finite value. Okay. So earlier we have checked that this part is finite if mod a less than 1. If mod a less than 1. Okay. And this part we have to check This part how will check that now you get the expression this way 1 by b to the power n. So in series you will get 1 by b as beta say and beta by 1 minus beta. Okay. So in this case if beta is less than 1 then it will be finite. So beta means 1 by b. So 1 by b less than 1, that means b should be greater than 1. Okay. So b should be greater than 1 for this expression to be finite. So we have got two conditions, a less than 1 and b greater than 1. Then only the overall system would be stable. Okay, this is your question. This is the questions and this is the answer. Okay. So very important relation you will understand in future that there are two kinds of ecosystem. One is causal, another is anti-causal. Okay. Causal means the signal is valid for positive values of n. Anti-causal means signal is valid for negative values of n. So if the system is causal, then a should be less than 1, and if the system is anti-causal, that means it is valid for n less than 0, then b should be greater than 1 for anti-causal system. For what? For stability. For stability I am talking about. For stability, and this is related to many things of discrete system like roots, poles, okay, poles and yeah, poles and stability. Okay. So this is your concept regarding stability. Has any all of you have understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
fine, very good. So stability, you have concept, got the concept. Now, uh, now, what is there? That is, yes, two kinds of systems. One is FIR system, another is IIR systems. FIR means finite duration impulse response. F for finite. And infinite, and IIR means infinite duration impulse response. Okay. FIR means impulse response is what? It is h of n. Okay. And n, if n extends from 0 to some certain value, okay, some finite value, let us say 7, 8, 10 or 100, okay, or 200, that is some finite value. Means that means hn is within some window. Okay. It is non-zero, maybe 0, but it is valid within that some particular range of time. 0, say let us say n is equal to 0 to some value L or n, whatever it is, capital N, okay, or M, whatever, any constant. But IIR system is what? Hn, the impulse response is not limited to any specific time duration. Rather, it is valid over infinite time duration. That means Hn is valid from, let us say, n is equal to 0 to certain value, say infinity. Okay. N is equal to 0 to infinity means very, very high time amount of time instance. Okay. In that case, it is called IIR system. So two conditions, one in impulse response, if it is finite duration, then it is FIR. n impulse response is range from 0 to infinity, then it is called IIR system, infinite duration impulse response. Okay? So here it is mathematically written that for FIR system, okay, for FIR system, we have the output expression from k is equal to 0 to m minus 1. Okay, that is valid. That is Hn is valid, that I told. Hn is valid from n is equal to 0 to n is equal to m. It is n greater n equal to m. n ये यहाँ पे थोड़ा गलत हो गया, n लेस देन इक्वल टू m होगा, लेस देन इक्वल टू m. Let me correct it. No, it is correct. Hn is equal to 0. Yes, Hn is 0 within this duration for n less than 0, negative values of n, and for n greater than or equal to m. That means n exists from Hn exists from n is equal to 0 to m minus 1, just before the values of m. Okay, so that's why in this equation of yn, it is written as k is equal to 0 to m minus 1, just before the value of m. Okay, and hk, and it is similarly coming from the convolution formula, it is x of n minus k. Similarly, for IIR system, you see that impulse response range from 0 to infinity. Okay? 0 to infinity. It is hk exists from 0 to infinity. And obviously it is there according to the formula for convolution. So we define the output equations for both FIR and IIR system. Okay? Where in case of FIR, we get impulse response from k is equal to 0 to m minus 1, and for IIR system, we get impulse response from k is equal to 0 to infinity, because it is IIR. Now, these are the two concepts. Now, we are about to discuss one very important topic in discrete system, that is difference equations. Okay? I hope you have just only familiar with the topic, okay, and only familiar with the little very basic things of it, not have studied the detail about it. Have you studied the detail difference equation?
No, sir. Basic only, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. So don't worry, we'll explain all the things related to difference equations. Okay. So first thing is that the advantage of so now another thing was that FIR system, and also it is causal FIR. Okay. If it is causal FIR, so that's why, that means time range from time exists only the positive time instants are considered. That means from n is equal to 0 or k is equal to 0 to m minus 1. That's why it is written causal FIR. If it is taken that before, means for positive values of n, negative values of n also, then it would have been called as non-causal. Non-causal means both causal and anti-causal are present. Okay? Both positive time axis and negative time axis will be present. The system is valid for both positive time axis and negative time axis. Since it is only causal affair, so we consider only the positive time duration. So what are the advantage of causal affair? The advantage of causal affair system is that they can be computed or implemented easily with the help of convolution sum. Okay, convolution sum, because convolution, you know that it is not, say if you know the length of the two sequence xn and hn, if those are finite, the length of two signals xn and hn are finite, then it is very much easy to calculate the convolution. You just put it on the table, okay, you will get easily the formula of convolution, tabular method or graphical method that we discussed earlier. It is very easy to compute, and you will easy to compute the output. But if it is IIR system, then impulse response we have a very time duration is from 0 to infinite. So you can imagine that how much complexity would be there to calculate the output using convolution sum. Convolution sum, it is easy if it is finite. The length of hn and xn is finite. But if it is infinite, length of hn is infinite. In case of IIR system, the requirement is for hn, the length is infinite. So it is very difficult. It is very difficult to calculate the convolution. So that's why it is impossible or very difficult to implement by means of convolution sum using causal IIR system, to implement the causal IIR system using convolution. So in that case, the difference equation will help you to implement the IIR system. Okay? Difference equation can be used for both FIR and IIR, but it is much suitable for IIR system. Okay, so now let's discuss how it is evolved. Okay, how the this difference equation is evolved. Okay, so we take one example of this cumulative average. Okay, let us take one signal xk. Okay, it's having past, present and past values x0, x1, x2, like that. Okay, and the present value is n, so past value is n minus 1, n minus 2 till 0. So we take the sum, and how many number of samples are there? In x, it is n plus 1, because n is your last sample and first sample is 0. So total number of sample is n plus 1. So we add those samples, their magnitude, and take the average. This is your output yn, and this is one system that calculate the average, and that this is one equation that calculate the average of the system. Okay, so where your present value is n and past value is less than that. Okay, now going to further simplifying it. So we take this n plus 1 left hand side, okay, n plus 1 yn, and we take out the present samples xn, okay, out of the series. So it becomes summation of k is equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of k plus xn. Okay, now so this equation can again be, it is actually can be related to the sum, average of the signal just before the past value, considering only the past values. Okay, calculated at samples n is equal to n minus 1. Here you know that yn is this. So in place of n, if you place n minus 1, n is equal to minus 1 here. So it becomes what? 1 by n minus 1 plus 1. Okay, minus 1 will cancel. So it becomes 1 by n. into, in place of n we write n minus 1. So it becomes summation of k is equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of k, that is equal to n into y n minus 1. N into y n minus 1 is your term. Okay. So what does we see? What do we see? That yn now is equal to n by n plus 1 y of n minus 1 plus xn divided by n plus 1. Okay. So, and in this equation what? It needs one multiplication, okay? One multiplication with past sample of output, okay, 1 by n plus 1, and also multiplying with past output n by n plus 1 and multiplying with present input with 1 by n plus 1. So two multiplication is required and one storage of output is required, that is delay of yn minus 1. Okay. So this way, in graphically it is implemented this way, that xn, then it is multiplied, say, let us say, overall it is common, it is multiplied, if we take common 1 by n plus 1. So there we multiply here n with delayed output of yn, so it is n into yn minus 1 here, n into yn minus 1 here, and xn is there, xn, these two are added, then it is finally multiplied with yn 1 by n plus 1. Okay. So this is a simple implementation. So so this is actually called recursive system. Okay, when this is an example of recursive system because output is fed back. Here, in general, a system whose output yn at any time n depends on any number of past values, yn minus 1, yn minus 2, is called recursive system. Okay. Let me underline this, highlight this one. Recursive system is what? Output depends on any number of past values of output. Okay. Any number of past values of output. So this represents the recursive system. Okay. So this recursive system, now we take simple recursive system, a first order recursive system. Okay, we are writing this way: yn is equal to ay n minus 1 plus xn. It is a simple first order recursive equation. So now if you go on putting all the values of n is equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. up to n, so you just put these values and you can express final output yn in terms of y minus 1 and past and present values of xn. Past values of xn, x0, x1, xn minus 1, and present value of x is x of n. Okay. So compactly, in general, what we write, that yn is equal to a to the power n plus 1, y minus 1. This is coming from putting, that is iteration by iteration or by recursion. Okay, we are getting this. You can understand it easily. I am not calculating. Okay, I am not explaining this. So this way you can find the output expression yn. Okay. Now, so in general, so in this equation, what we can have two parts. Okay. One is initial output. Okay. This term result of initial condition of system, okay? And this part is the result of input signal, okay? Input signal. So that means when, so there are two cases. When input signal is present, that time what is the output, and when input signal is not present, what is the output. So when input signal is not present, okay, this part is set totally zero. So that means output is only dependent on its previous values of output, that is initial value. This is called zero state response, okay. Uh, Zero state response. So no, here no, here you see that so there may be two cases. Either this part is zero, then this is the output, and this part is zero, okay, then this is the output. So if the initial value, initial conditions or states is zero, that means it has, the output is only dependent on input. So that time it is called zero state response. Okay? YZS is only due to output or only due to the input. Okay? This is called zero state response or forced response. Forced response means output is due to the input of force, force of input, or only due to force. Similarly, zero state response and zero input response. Zero input response means when no input is there, only so input is zero. So that time output is only due to the initial value. So that time it is called zero input response or natural response. This is the natural response. Okay. So output can be assumed as sum of yn is equal to zero input response and zero state response. Okay. So this is the this is what, this is the two types of output. Okay. Zero state response and zero input response, or forced response or natural response. Now in general, okay, we have seen that this is one first order difference equation, first order recursive equation, because output is only the one previous sample of output is considered. Only one previous sample of output is considered. But if we take multiple number of previous inputs, previous output samples, then it is called multiple order difference equation. So in that case, multiple order difference equations can be generally written as ak into yn minus k, because k range from 0 to n. So yn goes to n minus k, okay, n minus n up to n minus n, y of n minus n, nth order difference equation. Similarly, the input may be of samples from 0 to m, whatever it is, and a0 is equal to 1 when k is equal to 0. So k is equal to 0 implies only the present output yn. So actually this is merged, this yn is merged with this term, okay, this expression, this summation, okay, this summation, that is present output. So this is your general expression of difference equation, and their coefficients are ak and bk, and these are all constant, okay, all constant. So that's why it is called constant coefficient difference equation, constant coefficient difference equation, okay, and that's why it is called linear. Okay, if it is non-linear, then it should be square term would be there, but since it is constant, so it is called, their coefficients of output samples, and input samples are constant. Okay, that's why it is called constant coefficient difference equation. Okay. Since they are constant, so that's why the system is linear. Okay. So till now, so that today just only this part is sufficient, I hope. And next time, in the next class, I will show how to solve the difference equation. Okay. So anybody has any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything that you want to share? Okay. Anybody?